What's good, guys? I blanked out on the rest of what I was supposed to say. It's okay, intros are not my specialty, but I'm BlindWizard, and I'm here with Senpac, aka Reno, and we're here for a little bit of a Pokemon draft analysis. Say hi to the people.
Yep. What's good, people? Senpac here.
This
Reno.
This is totally not the third time we're recording this.
Nah. No way.
But anyways, with all that said and done, we're going into a little bit of a Pokemon draft, talking about the restricted Pokemon Draft League, Charleston Charizards, my draft kind of deal. And yeah, I'm bad at this, but we're gonna do it anyways.
It's okay. Improv's your specialty, right?
Huh? Anyways.
Very good. We're gonna get into your draft.
Yeah.
Charleston Charizards team here.
It's true. The first pick, if I'm not mistaken, was Giratina.
Yeah. So this, I guess, a little background for this league. So as the name suggests, you can get one restricted mon, which is usually like a box art legendary, one of the top threats. You get one mythical Pokemon, and then the rest is just whatever other mons you'd want to get.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's the gimmick for this league, and you get 10 picks with a certain amount of points. I don't remember, but that doesn't matter.
It's true.
Yeah, first pick here was one of the cheaper restricted. I do know it was a cheaper one. Was Giratina over here.
So my reasoning for picking this was a little bit like selfish. Would that be the best word for it?
Maybe. Depends.
Depends how you. I wanted when I was making this draft, I was like, you know what? I feel comfortable drafting double dragons, and what that means is I have two Pokemon that are both dragon types on the same team, and I was like, I want that. But I just don't want any two dragons. I want one restricted, and then another one that does something else. So Giratina being a legendary that was bulky as all hell. Reno, what are its defenses? Isn't it like 150, 120, 120? Oh no, did I lose my boy?
No, I'm living. My bad.
No,
So defenses are definitely a strong suit here. 150 base HP, one of the highest for a restricted mon. For any mon, like 150 is insane. And then 120 defenses to go with that. Yeah, this thing is taking super effective hits pretty well too.
That's true. Also, the offensive stats aren't anything crazy, but there's still nothing to sneeze at. 100s across the board, and then 90 speed is okay. Very average.
Good on a bulky mon,
right.
I'd say.
Exactly. In terms of its move pool, what are we looking at? A lot of aggression, a lot of attacks on this mon.
Which is a little bit. I mean, it might seem like, oh, you have a bulky mon. It's okay at attacking, but not the best. But it has a lot of attacking moves.
Right.
Which, I mean, can be good still. The more moves to hit super effectively against your opponent, the better you can make that average damage output, so it helps. You have fighting coverage with Aura Sphere to hit steel types, I would suppose. Is a good one to hit. You have Ghost Stab, Shadow Ball, or Poltergeist, which I'm going to take note of Poltergeist here because that is one of the strongest stabs. So that's a good one. Dragon Claw, Draco Meteor, if you want to go strong special Dragon Stab.
Right.
Priority. This mon offers priority with Shadow Sneak, which can be very useful as well. Breaking Swipe is a move that lowers both the opposing Pokemon's attack stat, so that is a good supportive option that chips them down too. Icy Wind for speed. A lot of good options here.
Now you guys know why I brought Reno on this video. But anyways, there's also a couple supporting moves that it gets, that being Thunder Wave and Will-O-Wisp. couple status moves. It unfortunately does not get Tailwind in this league because of no transfer moves allowed. So I'm kind of left with no Tailwind on this one.
Darn rule. We weren't sure about like if that rule would affect. Like you didn't know that it would have no Tailwind, which is unfortunate.
Exactly.
Still some things that this mon can pull out with the status, the priority, and has other speed control options still.
Right,
Thunderwave
exactly.
and Icy Wind. So in that sense, you still have use that you can make out of this mon.
Right, of course. And then probably maybe the last thing we could talk about with this mon is its ability telepathy.
This was the main attraction. Right now we're looking at the regular one, Pressure, but that's not why it was. We're not trying to stall VGC out here.
It's true.
Telepathy. Now tell them, why'd you choose this mon for telepathy?
I mean, a lot of my Pokemon that are on this draft, and we'll see them later, but a lot of them have moves that target both the enemies and then also their partner with things like Earthquake, things like Sludge Wave, things like potentially Discharge if I really wanted to go that way. But yeah, so Telepathy just felt like a great all-around VGC ability, and on top of that, I felt like I could pilot it very well in this league. So that's generally why I picked it.
Right, and with you enjoying dragon types in general, another big reason you got this one, I'm guessing, I think we talked about this before, was this is one of the few bulky dragon types, more support oriented, whereas a lot of them, the grand majority of them, want to just kill things, go on the offensive.
It's true, and we'll see one that likes to do that in a couple picks here, but...
Right. Another quick rule to add though, the restricteds can't Dynamax, so in that sense it's a little unfortunate, can't take advantage of the max moves with this mon, but it's still a solid support mon. A good pick. So yeah.
Alright.
Maybe we should head on to the second one.
Great minds think alike, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, so the next one was...
Excadrill.
Great.
Why'd you take Excadrill, Wiz?
Let's just be straight here, alright? Excadrill almost needs no introduction. This thing, what, 135 base attack stat?
Correct. Yep.
Crazy on the physical offense side of things. And then its ability, Sand Rush, or its primary ability, at least on this team, will be Sand Rush, boosting its base 88 speed up to 176 if my math doesn't fail me today.
Also can use Mold Breaker too as well.
Right, exactly.
To more potential Levitate, other problematic abilities. But yeah. A bit of a spoiler with Sand Rush being the mainstay, but let's be real. Excadrill is for Sand.
It's
but
true.
yeah.
It's true.
Decent HP as well, 110. Not the best overall bull, but Dynamax exists. So that can be hard to kill with the high HP stat.
Exactly.
Being doubled. And I don't know, this one's pretty simple. I don't think we need to go into it too much. I mean, you do have the synergy already going with the Giratina, which is a big reason you picked this up. The Earthquake you mentioned will not hurt Giratina, which also, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's spreading to only the two opponents, it's doing more damage to them, right?
It might, honestly. I'm not too sure on that call. I think that's how that works. I'm pretty goddamn sure that's how that works.
Right, that's what I was thinking. So, either way, it's just really good paired with the Giratina. Lets it fire off Earthquakes for free. If not, you have high horsepower too, as well, to single out a target. Because ground moves are very, very, very good in VGC, especially when you max. Get those special defense boosts for your team, make Giratina even more unkillable. Yeah, very good two first picks here. Pretty obvious what Excadrill does. Can't forget Rock Slide as well. Flinch everything.
I was just about to say, most weeks you're gonna see me running something along the lines of like Iron Head, Rock Slide, ground ground move, either Sword to Dance or Protect. And that's,
Pretty straightforward one.
Yeah, that's gonna be
But
it.
it's so good at what it does.
Yeah, and I guess with that we just skip over to the next pick.
Right. And with this next pick, I mean, there are a lot of good options, but after getting your Excadrill, you know what you had your eyes on, right?
I didn't have to wait a second. It had to be the T-Tar. Tyranitar is the third pick.
Yep. No one else was going Sand, thankfully, so you got what you needed. You went for the Abuser first, and then the Sand Setter, which was smart.
Yeah, and T-Tar being probably, without debate, the best Sand Setter in the meta. I had backup options in case I didn't get this mon, because we were on a wheel and it was gonna take a couple like 10 picks at least, no 20 picks at least, to get back to me. So I was like, all right, if I don't get T-Tar on the return, well, I have other options. But as soon as it came back to me, I was like, yeah, I'm getting this. There's no question about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Gigalith could have worked fine. It's not a bad replacement. It would have been cheaper. Would have lost that dark typing and just the raw coverage that this thing gets, and Hippowdon's kind of meh in VGC. It's okay, but not nearly as good. Yeah, you got your Tyranitar. I think everyone, I mean, if you didn't know, insane stats almost all across the board.
Especially being a pseudo-legendary. Getting that little bit of a stat boost.
For sure. The only one being mediocre, being the speed.
Right. But yeah, so what does this thing do? This thing rock slides very similarly to Excadrill. Also has access to Earthquake. Ice Punch is a very prominent coverage move that you'll see on this thing to deal with grass types or dragon types. Or things of that nature. Ground types, yeah. But also, something like Stab Crunch hits very hard on this thing, as I've come to find out.
Oh, for sure. And with all these coverage moves, it just makes it another. With Wiz already has two really good ones here. Two good max targets, because now Tyranitar has all these effects it can play with, like max dark lowering special defense for a partner. I think that was the one.
Yes, I think after our conversation yesterday, I think we said it should have been reversed, where Ghost should lower defense and Dark should lower or my bad, the other way. Dark should lower defense, Ghost should lower special defense. But obviously nowadays it's the opposite.
Yeah, doesn't make the most sense when you think about it, but it's how it is.
It's true.
But yeah, Dark lowers the special defense. You have Rock to get your Sand up, which is very good.
It's basically like having
maximum.
It's basically like having Mega T-Tar back. Finally. Anyways.
Amazing. Then you have, you can get your Hail up for that that other Hail threat you have coming up later. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, get me out of here. But then another thing that I love about T-Tar is the fact that its attack is massive, obviously, but its special attack is nothing to sneeze at. And you might catch me running something along the lines of a mixed T-Tar with Ice Beam, maybe with Assurance, maybe with Dark Pulse. Does it get Dark Pulse? It gets Dark Pulse, right?
Oh, I hope so. Let's find out. Yes, it does.
Alright, hype game.
Let's go. Support moves like Snarl to lower special defense can be very good.
Exactly.
It gets so much.
It's so good. I love it so much. So yeah, versatility on this thing is crazy, and that's all we need to really say about it. Also Sandstream, but
So for Sandstream, it's a special defender. A lot of attacking moves. It sets up the Excadrill. Very good one.
Yeah. So let's move on to probably my favorite mon on this draft.
Right.
Pick 4 is Naganadel. Oh my gosh.
Heck yeah. This is Double Dragon. This is it.
It's true.
Round 4.
Round 4,
Already set.
round 4 solidified that double dragon core that I kind of wanted. And obviously this is very opposite to what Giratina likes to do. If Giratina likes to sit and tank hits, Naganadel likes to stand up and dish them out.
Yep, Giratina sat down so that Naganadel can stand up. Let's be real here.
It's true. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, correct me on my stats, but Naganadel has 127 special attack, as well as 121 speed. Crazy.
Correct, so hard to outspeed, hits very hard. Kind of, well, not even kind of, very underwhelming both, not the absolute worst, at 73 across the board. And the attack is also very underwhelming at 73, so you will have to rely on your special coverage, but boy does it excel at that.
You're never gonna catch me running a physical Naganadel. But anyway. Yes, access to Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, which pairs very well with both Excadrill and Giratina. Dragon coverage, Dark Pulse,
right.
Draco.
Thunderbolt if you need to hit some kind of water type or something along those lines. U-turn if you want to pivot, even if it's not hitting hard. Pivot is always a good option to have. A lot of coverage you can work with here. Fire coverage for Steel type, which is really good against the dual stats. So the Naganadel does have the coverage to beat those Steel types. I think that's mainly it. Ally switch as well. That's good if you want to like protect your Naganadel and your partner, kind of mess up the targeting. Ally switch is always a good like redirection option.
Right.
Maybe hard to fit on the Naganadel, but I bet you'll run it sooner or later.
Well, you just wait until week 2. No, it's not spoilers. I'm not meta breaking the fourth wall here, but
Helping Hand too. I forgot about that as well. And Snarl, like it can be an offensive support if it wants as well, which works with that speed stat. You get a poison typing, which I mean not the most needed typing, but Max Ooze is a good max move.
Oh yeah, we've seen it to some effect. We're not gonna meta one more time, but it's good, and you guys will see that very soon.
It's good, and it helps this team out with the other mons that you will see. Not currently. I don't think you want to max use for the Excadrill special attack, but it puts in work.
But
yeah, about a good speed tier.
Exactly. There's not much else to say about it. You're gonna see a life orb on it, and that's about it. But anyways.
I guess the only other thing is, sadly, no Tailwind, which was another moment.
Hey, bro, that's legitimately the reason, the first reason why I wanted Naganadel. One, because I loved it. I loved Naganadel in Gen 7, but then I also wanted a great Tailwind setter, and having a very speedy Tailwind is so good. But unfortunately, no transfer moves, so no Tailwind on this mon.
A little bit of confusion when drafting. It's kind of hard seeing which ones are transfer or not, but live and learn, and you know what? This one is still a huge threat, so
yeah,
no regrets.
So, next one was... I forget.
Celebi.
Celebi, okay. So...
Wiz needed a mythical sooner.
Yeah, to explain my thought process through this, I was thinking, okay, I need a mythical. I'm not too picky about which mythical I exactly wanted. I was okay with anything that was really left over. And then Reno told me ally switch, and I was like, alright, it's time.
Say no more. But yeah, with mythicals running out, I'm guessing you didn't want to wait much longer at that time. Like, round 5 was already pretty late. The good ones were starting to leave, like the ones that would fit.
Right.
So, I mean, Celebi's an interesting pick here. We could go on all day about its options, but maybe we'll just note, like, the very big ones.
It's very versatile. Yeah, what can it do?
It has so many moves. Expect any max move from it, honestly, if you were to Dynamax, because mythicals can do that, unlike the restricted. So you can expect any kind of effects from the max moves and strong coverage. which is good on a mon that has all 100 in its stats and can kind of perform whatever role it wants to.
That's also a thing that really appealed to me, the fact that it has 100 all stats, and it's just like, okay, we can do anything, really, and literally anything with this Pokemon. So
right, exactly. But I guess we'll note more the support option, since that could be a prominent use of it too.
Right.
It's decently fast screen setter is always nice to have, has both reflect and light screen. Pollen Puff is cool because it not only is it an attacking move, I don't even think I talked to you about this one, or if you checked, but Pollen Puff is a bug type attacking move for 90 power, but it also, if you use it on an ally, heals 50% of their HP.
you mentioned it, and I was like, I need that. Like, that's cool. That sounds very interesting in VGC.
Right, and with some of your, even whether it be your offensive mons Dynamaxing or your fat mons, having that option is very nice to heal. Its own recovery with recover is very good to have. It can Swords Dance. I always forget.
Oh my god.
So yeah, be ready for Swords Dance Celebi. It'll hit.
Yep. Something I'll slide in and add here is it gets Trick Room. It is a very fast, well, not very fast, but a decently fast mon at 100, about average. So it can't abuse Trick Room to the best of its ability, but it can counter it, which is amazing.
Right. Just having a mon to shut down opposing Trick Room is always good, especially one with pretty solid bulk like Celebi.
Right.
Also, U-turn, momentum, always nice.
Yep.
Ally switch, which was mentioned before.
Yep.
Busted. Imprison could be maybe like a gimmicky one.
Right.
To just shut down protect or some other move. Helping Hand is always a good move in VGC.
Yes.
Life Dew, an alternate healing move that heals both Pokemon on your side for 25% health. Like, you can do whatever you want with this mon.
Literally.
Even skill swap. I don't know what you can do with that, but there are crazy things you can do with skill swap in VGC. My own team, I was thinking of crazy things, but yeah.
Right. The last thing I'll probably say with this mon is expect a Trick Room team that'll make one week just to kind of meme, but look forward to that.
Right. Pretty much the only bad thing about this mon that might be hard to use is that 4 times bug weakness for mons with a U-turn.
Yeah, being grass psychic, it kind of hurts.
Yeah, but there are workarounds. You have resists on your team, so this was a pretty good mythical pickup, and a good mon for ground types typically, because ground was looking really strong against your team at this point.
Exactly.
3 out of 4 mons being weak to it, so good pickup right there.
Alright, so pick 6.
Sylveon.
Oh yes, I love this Pokemon to death. Both generally and in VGC.
I don't think I need to say much for this one. This is one you're super familiar with, so I'll let you take the stage mainly for this one.
Sylveon, being very bulky on the special defense side with is it 130? Double check that for me.
That's correct.
Nice. I know my mons. 130 special defense is very good on a fairy type. Having access to the ability Pixelate to make all of its normal type moves fairy type is super good as well. I mean, the gimmick of this Pokemon is Hyper Voice, and that's about it.
Strong spread damage, yep.
Right, exactly. And correct me if I'm wrong. Hyper Voice, is it stronger than Dazzling Gleam?
Yes, and there's 2 reasons why actually. First would be just Hyper Voice is 90 power, Dazzling Gleam is 80.
Yeah.
And the second one being that Pixelate boost, because it turns it into fairy type, but it also gives a 1.2 times boost to the attack.
Right. And then this
so
mon
really strong.
This mon does a couple other things that I'm very hyped to use. being like little gimmicks like quick attack, being able to set up a weakness policy on one other mon, whether that be, I don't know, maybe we could do guaranteed. I was literally gonna say. Wait a minute, can I do that?
Yeah.
Wait. Does telepathy not block that? There's, or is it just spread?
I don't think so.
These are the questions we must ask ourselves. Okay.
This Pokemon does not take damage from attacks made by its allies. I don't know.
I think.
I will say this.
Yeah.
It's not like it only gets telepathy though. It gets
Right.
pressure
We
as
could
well.
get pressure as well. Oh my god. Yo.
So either way, whether telepathy blocks or not, that's like an option. Yo, we just on the spot.
I know that was really off the cuff.
Giratina.
Because I was thinking T-Tar, because yeah, T-Tar with weakness policy is crazy. And that's the gimmick that was mainly picked for this, but also has access to Helping Hand, screens, if I'm not mistaken. Does it get
yes.
Okay.
It gets both of them. A little bit slower user of it, but it has the option.
Right,
for sure.
exactly. And is there anything else I'm blanking out on?
I mean, it's a fairy type. What can Wall Fairy? You got Steel and Poison. It's got Psyshock for Poison types and Mystical Fire for Steel types. So this one has all the coverage it needs to hit its the resists to Fairy. Not a lot of coverage, but the ones it needs. So
exactly.
That's pretty much it. Sylveon's a pretty simple one. I guess Yawn too. You can pull out the Yawn.
There you go.
Put something to sleep in 2 turns.
Oh my god.
That's actually a really strong option. No memes. Like.
Doesn't it also get
Very
Calm
good.
Mind if I really wanted to go that route?
Calm Mind as well, for sure. So you can be a setup sweeper that way. A lot of options with this thing.
There you go.
Trying to see if there's any other. Isn't Fake Tears? That's a slow Fake Tears, right?
Yeah,
It's not
that's a
priority.
slower fake one now.
That's super good on that.
But yeah, no, that definitely still supports very well.
And Skill Swap too, because why not?
Just keep it coming, keep it coming.
But yeah, bottom line, top tier fairy type you wanted on your team, right?
Right.
And plus you love the Mon to death.
Oh, so good. Probably my second favorite Pokemon ever.
Damn.
Right behind. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I don't know if Zoroark has like beaten Charizard down and Sylveon as well, but questions for another time.
Right.
What's the next pick?
So more than half the draft is done at this point. Last few picks. You ended up picking 7th pick, Rotom Heat.
Oh my god, it's Wiz's Bars.
Wiz's Bars, that's a reference to something you guys have not seen yet.
Yeah.
Well.
You guys will see soon, though.
Exactly. So this one, because I remember you had quite a few mons you really needed for the last picks.
Yeah.
The ordering was a little risky because no matter what you did, you could lose one really important piece.
Right.
But luckily Rotom Heat lasted till round 7, I believe this is, which is kind of crazy because Rotom Heat is amazing.
I thought you were
Really
gonna
good mon.
say no pun intended, fire.
It's fire, it's heat.
Oh my god.
No. Missed the obvious joke there.
But
Yeah, what do you like about Rotom Heat?
okay. So when we were like looking at mons for me to draft, I was going through and I was like, I don't have an electric type. And Rotom Wash was like the first thing that came up because I was like, it's a water type and an electric type, both typings that I don't have quite yet. But then I saw a couple other like bulky water options, and I did end up grabbing one, but that's for a little bit later. But Rotom Heat actually covered both the typings very well, and was probably the only real fire type that I really had my eye on.
Due to your ground weakness, especially.
Exactly.
From before.
Having Levitate, super good. Super good. But But yeah, and then I literally was like, okay, I'm going to grab Rotom Heat now because I need it. Like, it would be dumb of me to not grab it now and cover both those typings, and then have those options open for the bulky water type after.
Because there are still quite a few good ones left.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And this thing does a lot in its own right.
For sure.
Having
The stats are really good.
Yeah. Having access to beautiful stats.
Just low HP, sure, low attack, sure, but solid speed at 86. It's pretty hard at 105, and the defense is being the highlight, 107 in both.
Oh.
Just a very good all-arounder, very above average in every area. Except speed, but still a solid speed here.
Let's see. Hold on, I might be mistaken, but what are its weaknesses? Because I know it takes away the ground weakness from electric because of levitate. But then, what is fire weak to? Rock, water, anything else?
That's it.
That's it.
Electric's weaknesses are completely gone. You lose the one of 3 weaknesses from fire, and then you just have those other 2, rock and water. Which, granted, are very common types in VGC. So, something to look out for, but just having those 2, it's pretty well manageable.
Exactly.
On this mon, especially with the support you have on the team. So, yeah.
In terms
kind of a simple mon.
Right. I was gonna say, in terms of moves, Volt Switch, very good for pivoting out. Thunderbolt, obviously great electric move. Discharge, if I really want to go with the spread electric moves. Wait for that.
And kind of speed control.
Right. Wait for the scarfed discharge, I'm just saying.
With Giratina.
With Giratina. Overheat is only fire type move, but damn, is it a good one.
It hits. It's like Wiz's bars, they just hit.
Oh my god. So access to Will-O-Wisp, which is a great status move. Giratina also has, but having it on this one is also a very good idea.
For sure. Thunder Wave 2 on this one.
Beautiful.
A lot of good support options, like Helping Hand to boost your partner's attack. On a Pokemon, like this is good. Ally Switch too, more redirection.
Why does my team just all have Ally Switch?
I don't know, but that's good considering you ended up having no Follow Me user.
Screens as well with Reflect and Light Screen.
Yep, gets both.
Pain Split. Pain Split is probably the biggest thing.
Wait, what? Does he get it?
What?
What?
I've been lied to! Live!
What? Wow, so, apparently Pain Split's a transfer. Are you kidding me?
Live!
It's still goated. Don't worry, it's still goated.
It doesn't need Pain Split to be good.
It doesn't. You have Celebi healing it. Let's be real.
It's true. Yo, the strats. But yeah, great Scarf user, great AV user, great Life Orb user. Citrus Berry can also go on it.
I didn't even know it got this. It also gets Electro Web if you want to really focus on the speed control. So it can just guarantee lower the speed.
Let me just say
also
here.
Also a very good option.
Let me just say here next to my partner Giratina, and we'll just spam speed lowering attacks all day. Who needs Tailwind at this point?
True. And Electro Web, I don't even think it hits your partner, so that one you can actually just spam.
Yep.
Yeah. This was like a perfect fit for your team. Literally good choice.
Is there anything else about this one that we're forgetting?
I mean, other than every move and just what it's good at, it's also just another good win con potentially for a max target.
Right.
Being able to set Sun with the overheat max move, and then not lowering your offenses is just very good. Or if you're fighting problematic terrain, having that really good max, whatever the electric one is. Max electric move to change terrain is also a nice option.
Right. So, we're almost done here.
I think there's, what, 3 picks left?
Yep.
2?
finishing up. 3 more picks. Well, 2 more actual picks.
No, you're right. We'll get into that.
Alright.
Yeah.
So pick 8.
You should know the next one.
My low tech, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. This is one of a few bulky waters that were available that were still good. This was the main one you wanted.
This Pokemon's
Very good choice.
crazy in VGC. Access to its ability being competitive. If it gets intimidated or any stat, is it any stat lowering?
Any stat lord, and it's for each stat lord by a foe, mind you.
You get +2 special attack. God.
Makes it very strong. You switch into a parting shot that lowers attack and special attack. That's free +3 right there.
Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. So that deters a lot of like debuffs, if you will. Sorry, my mind blanked, and that was the first thing that popped in my head.
No, you're good. It's very good in a max metagame, especially because of those max moves that lower defenses or attack,
Right.
Attack or special attack. Like if you need a good counter to a max ghost type or a max, I don't know, dark type as well, any of those, Milotic is really good for that, to kind of discourage them from using those max moves.
Yeah. Its move pool is kind of very similar to a lot of other Pokemon, or like a little bit of a mix between all of them. This one does get Scald though, and Muddy Water.
Oh yeah. For spread. And accuracy drops.
If we really wanted to go there, yeah. What else? Ice Beam, which is great for hitting grass types that I can't normally hit. Helping Hand, Recover is huge on this mon.
And this Pokemon with 125 special defense, yes.
Please tell me it's not transfer move.
What, Recover?
Yeah.
No. He gets that.
We get some kind of recovery on this team, apparently.
I don't know if you knew this one, and I don't know if it's very good in VGC, but it does get Flip Turn, so it has its own, what's it called? My mind blanked now.
Its own
Momentum.
pivot. Yeah, there you go.
Own pivot, momentum option. Yeah.
Also access to
Haze.
Ice. Oh, Haze, yes! Oh my god. Alright, real quick, backpedal. Does Rotom get Haze?
I'm gonna check, but I don't think so.
Just to make sure. Okay. So yeah, that's another role that it fulfills here. Icy Wind for speed, more speed control, more.
We don't need Tailwind.
It's true.
We'd like it, but we don't. No.
Does this get Calm Mind?
No, but an unorthodox option. I don't know if you'd like it with your playstyle, but it gets Coil to make it really hard to kill. And
That's
if you want to
nasty.
use Hydro Pump specifically, it'll make it like hit all the time.
That's
Whoa.
nasty. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know it did that. Now I know, and now the league is in trouble.
Oh yeah. Coil and then max it, and it just never dies.
Alright.
Hypnosis. That's a. funky option.
Alright! That's another thing that it can do. Very niche, kinda, but definitely
Yeah.
something that puts pressure on the opponents.
Another life diffuser, so more of that support healing
Right.
option.
This thing's crazy.
A lot of good moves. Not a lot of coverage on the attacks, but it gets enough, and the support is very good. Just a very good bulky but offensive water at the same time. It was a very good choice.
Right.
It was this or Gyarados, I guess. I don't know if you were a huge fan of Gyarados comparatively, though.
It was definitely something that I could consider, with having Intimidate and things of that nature, but I had so many physical mons on the team already, well, generally speaking, and I wanted some sort of deterrent from Intimidate spam,
Right.
so competitive, just with this Milotic, kind of went into my hands, and I was just like, I need this.
So as opposed to getting your own Intimidate, you wanted to focus more on countering it. You prioritized that.
Exactly.
Definitely an interesting pick. And the draft is pretty, like, your draft pretty much has everything, even with these, what, 8
so far,
months.
Yeah.
But points were left, and there were mons to be picked.
Fan favorites, I might add. No, kidding.
Maybe, so.
Wiz favorites for sure. 9th.
What was that 9th?
Zoroark Joker.
Wild card.
The wild card itself. Again, Zoroark doesn't need too much of an introduction, maybe for its move pool, but in terms of its ability, it's iconic what it does in its illusion ability, allowing it to basically masquerade as any other Pokemon. So when you send it out, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it comes out as the last Pokemon in your party, or the one that you selected. So it has great synergy with a lot of my team, where I could be like, oh, you know, Giratina's out on the field, and there's a Psychic alright, maybe that's not the best comparison, but there's something weak to Dark, let's say that much. And if Zoroark is disguised as something that doesn't normally handle Dark types, it generally lowers their guard towards that, and that just allows Zoroark to shoot off a very powerful Dark Pulse in that direction. But it also works defensively as well. When you make it look like something that would take a Fairy type move well, be that Excadrill probably would be the best target. You deter people from using Fairy type moves against a Dark type Pokemon, which is very good.
Right, bait them to use a neutral hit or even a resisted hit on you. Or maybe an immune, a Psychic. But yeah, it makes opponents think twice, and it doesn't slack on the stats either. 120 special attack is pretty strong.
105 speed, yeah.
105 attack, so it can use physical moves too, if it has to.
Sword stance.
Very flirt if you position it right.
Right.
Very well, and it can survive even for one turn, which might just be enough.
Right, exactly. Has a lot of access to a lot of coverage. So a lot of coverage when it comes to this mon. It gets Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Sludge Bomb. Does it get Thunderbolt?
That one I'm not sure. No. Does not get Thunderbolt. But Grass Knot if you want to hit a heavy water type or something along those lines.
Shadow Ball.
Focus Blast.
This one goes crazy. Snarl for good support.
Fast Snarl user, pretty good at that. Gets Calm Mind. Oh, interesting.
It's time, gamers.
This guy's a Sylveon.
Yeah. Oh my god. Is there anything else that we're missing for this one? This was genuinely just I want Zoroark on the team, because I've never played a draft league without Zoroark on the team.
If we're being real, there could have been better picks other than Zoroark, but
Lando. Lando.
Yeah, Landorus incarnate. But this was a very just from the heart pick.
Exactly.
Favorite mon kind of pick. But still a very solid one though. U-turn as well.
You gotta respect my loyalty. And yeah, the U-turn is crazy.
Actually, one thing that was worthwhile really with this mon was actually fast taunt. You didn't have a lot of taunt users, which is kind of crazy that you ended up not having that much. I don't think any of the mons above even had it, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy to think about. There it is. We found a reason, boys.
So yeah, if you need to shut down a Tailwind that is slower than you, like a user of that,
right,
or a Trick Room, you have taunt, and the best thing about it is they might not even expect it if you position this well.
Yeah.
Disguise it. So it's actually pretty good on this team, even if it was just like a mascot pick of sorts. Not Charizard, but
next
Who's the
next season.
mascot?
Next season.
Right. Yeah, with that, we're done the draft. I
Yeah,
think it was
yep.
pretty. Oh wait. Uh-oh.
Well,
Why
we're
do
not.
I hear? I hear.
I hear boss music.
Filler pick. Yeah. Let's have 4 points.
I had 4 points left over, so I needed to pick one mine because we needed to have 10. Otherwise, you know, I would have just picked Lando I and been done with it, but... Oh, God. The last Pokemon on the team? Caracosta? Is that what it is? I always forget its name.
Yeah.
That's how much I care about it. I'm sorry to the
Right.
Caracosta lovers.
I mean, won't go too deep into it, but it does do some things.
It does have a couple things that it has access to, like Wide Guard, which wasn't on the team before.
Right. So that's unique to it on this team. Or the Aqua Jet is okay.
Yep.
Actually, you know, I just thought of this now. That can activate Rotom's weakness policy. That's
Oh,
bad.
it's time.
I don't think, because my Logic does not get Aqua Jet, so that's something, I guess.
For sure.
It gets one thing that, like, not move wise, but Solid Rock is pretty nice on it though, just so that it can take super effective hits better.
Right. It also
Its
gets
survivability.
its special defense boosted thanks to Sandstream. Which
If
is
you
also
pair
very
with
good.
T-Tar, or even, I don't know why you'd max this, but if you max rock
Oh
this.
my lord, stop. Oh my god.
Other than that, I mean, some coverage, rock coverage, water. It gets knockoff.
There you go.
If there's ever a problematic item, because that might be your only knockoff.
Is
Zorak?
it?
Zorak too. Never mind.
It's time.
You have better knockoff than this. But I mean, it gets it.
It got it.
Rock Slide for spread. Never bad to have Stab Rock Slide.
Yeah.
Shell Smash, I guess. If
We're,
you-
we're settle straight sweeping here.
We're winning with Caracosta. Let's go.
It's gonna be a
Yeah,
title.
other than that. Yeah, mainly this was drafted to get Wide Guard, if we're being real.
Yeah.
That was like the main
To
choice.
be honest. But yeah, I think that that officially wraps anything. Wait, why do I hear boss? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we're officially done here. So, with that, I will now say that tomorrow, since this is going up on Saturday, you guys will see week 1, my week 1 match. We recorded it earlier, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. It was it was a very close match. I won't spoil who wins, but
Very fun game to watch, though. It's very well played from both sides.
Right. And yeah, we'll see Reno come back for that, and maybe every other game. We'll see how our schedules line up for all that.
Right.
But yeah, thank you, Reno, for joining me on this video. You know, I almost could not do it without you.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was definitely a good time
Right.
reviewing the draft.
That all said and done. Gamers, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace out.